Here are the 10 biggest pop punk artists at the start of 2022 on Spotify and why they're streaming well. Number 10 is Simple Plan at 6.4 million monthly listeners. So you may know them from their viral hit, I'm Just a Kid. Which is already a big song in the 2000s, but it recently blew up on TikTok. They're an early 2000s pop punk band, so most of what's doing it for them now is their old stuff, including their many classic hits. But 3 out of their top 10 songs right now are from the last few years, so that is really good for a legacy band. Number 9 is All Time Low with 7.2 million monthly listeners. You may know them from their 2007 hit Dear Maria Count Me In. Which also blew up on TikTok in 2020.
It wasn't a phase! It's a lifestyle!
And in that same year, their song Monsters went to number 1 on alternative radio and got a remix with Demi Lovato. In 2021, it went to number 55 on the Billboard Hot 100. So they're actually doing pretty well right now, and 4 out of their top 10 songs are from the last couple years, which is very good for a band that's been around for over a decade. Number 8 is Youngblood with 8.2 million listeners. Youngblood plays the feature game very, very well. His most notable feature, in my opinion, is the one on I Think I'm Okay by Machine Gun Kelly. Has like nearly 350 million streams on Spotify. 6 out of his top 10 songs are collaborations, but he can hold his own. Parents is a huge song that has over 200 million streams.
I went out to the garden and I fucked my best friend cause my hopes to get low.
And a lot of his other songs are getting dozens of millions. He's had over 10 million monthly listeners before. For newer artists, their numbers tend to fluctuate more because they don't have that steady back catalog, but Youngblood will definitely develop that over time.
You're an idiot. Why have you been so mean to me? To be that wanker. I'm not a wanker.
Number 7 is Travis Barker with 11.1 million monthly listeners. Good for him. He's the drummer of Blink-182, but at number 463 in the world, it's hard to say he's not his own artist at this point. But the name of the game for Travis Barker is features galore. He produces pretty much every Machine Gun Kelly pop punk song these days, to the point where he's not even listed on most of his songs, so I don't think that helps his streams, but he is listed on Misery Business.
But I gotta wear water now.
Also, just name any new wave pop punk artist and there's like at least a 50% chance Travis Barker has collaborated with him. One of my favorites is SOS by Swaco. But he also seems to feature in just about like every other genre too. He's just like expanding his musical empire. So far, it's kind of ridiculous, but he is a legend. Number 6 is The Offspring with 11.6 million monthly listeners. They're formed in the 80s and have developed a very strong back catalog, putting out 6 platinum singles over the years. Because they're older, vast majority of the stuff that's getting them streams is their old music, but they do have one song from 2021 in their top 10 right now. It's got like 22 million streams, so that's pretty cool to see. And all of that puts them at 439 in the world, which is just crazy for any artist of any genre to have this kind of longevity. Number 5 is Blink-182 at 12.3 million monthly listeners. They're the most iconic band of that wave of late 90s, early 2000s pop punk bands, especially because of their songs like What's My Age Again and All the Small Things. They have a super strong back catalog. In fact, every single one of their top 10 songs is from no later than 2003, yet they are still at 408 in the world. This just shows how iconic and powerful and timeless all those songs are. Number 4 is Machine Gun Kelly at 15.5 million monthly listeners. Machine Gun Kelly has a massive back catalog, mostly in hip hop. He's got like 8 platinum singles, I believe. And his song Bad Things with Camila Cabello has like almost 600 million streams on Spotify.
I want you forever, even when we're not together.
Yeah, scars on my body so I can take you wherever.
But in the last couple years, he's transitioned into pop punk, and 5 out of his top 10 songs are pop punk. His 2020 pop punk album went to number 1 on the Billboard 200. My Ex's Best Friend went to number 1 on alternative radio, number 3 on top 40 radio, and to number 20 on the Billboard Hot 100.
I never fall in love, but I can't get enough of it. You know my ex, so that makes it.
And that puts him at 286 in the world.
Barbecue sauce on my titties.
Number 3 is Avril Lavigne with 15.8 million monthly listeners. She's a huge legacy artist with 9 platinum singles. Her songs What the Hell and Girlfriend actually both trended on TikTok. As is the case with like all of these legacy pop punk artists, most of her top songs are from a very long time ago, but her new pop punk song Bite Me is her number 1 song right now. And it was on Spotify's viral top 50 chart. So all of this puts Avril Lavigne at 270 in the world. Number 2 is Green Day with 19.1 million monthly listeners. In my opinion, they have the most impressive back catalog of any punk or pop punk band. They've got 8 platinum singles, to name a few: Basket Case, American Idiot, Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Their last super iconic hit single was in 2009 with 21 Guns. But they are still at 198 today. Alongside Blink, many people say they are the most important and influential punk or pop punk band of all time. Before I get to number 1, I just want to show you 3 artists that we need to watch. First, Maggie Lindemann is at 6.1 million monthly listeners. She's one of the most important new wave pop punk figures right now. Sum 41 at 6.3 million. Another classic legacy pop punk band just barely below Simple Plan. And Gayle at 29 million. She is absolutely blowing up with ABCDEFU, and she has a more pop punk version of that song. I just didn't include her on the official list because it's not clear if she is trying to be a pop punk artist, but we'll see if she heads in that direction. All right, at number 1, bit of a curveball, but we have Willow at 20.1 million. I do have to acknowledge that she is the daughter of Will Smith, so that was very important in putting her on the map. But obviously she's very talented too. She's been doing music for over a decade with hits like Whip My Hair and Wait a Minute. But what we care about is in 2021, she released her first pop punk song, Transparent Soul, with Travis Barker. Absolutely blew up. It has over 150 million streams now. So I just wanted to clarify that Willow actually has like a full pop punk and indie rock album. It's not just the one song. And after releasing that, she was sitting at about 14 to 15 million monthly listeners. But what really pushed her over the edge is her 2020 song, Meet Me at Her Spot, just recently blew up on TikTok.
Meet me at our spots. Call a vibe. Baby, are you coming for the ride?
It's coming up on 250 million streams, and it's put her at 175 in the world. So speaking of blowing up, there are a lot of smaller pop punk and alternative artists doing some really exciting things, and they could be as big as some of the artists on this list one day. So if you would like to see who they are and what they're up to, check out this video right here.